Welcome back, hunters. I'm the Survivalist, and we return to the Hunter Call of the Wild, where we're in Layton Lakes just to keep on doing some more free hunting. We do have a little bit of a mission log here. We can go after, spot 3 different fur types of black bears, go to a certain place and try to get a couple coyotes. That actually works well with the story mission we've got. Harvest whitetail down from at least 200 meters away at night, and harvest whitetail at night with, harvest whitetail deer down from at least 200 meters away with a scope rifle, and harvest one at night with the quick kill bonus. So, I mean, oh, what do we got making some noise? No, I guess didn't quite catch it in time. So yeah, Cheelah hiking village, I think is... Okay, well, for some reason it doesn't want to show me all of the regions unless I'm apparently in them or right beside them, so that doesn't help all that much. But one thing I'm going to do today is I'm probably going to take out the electronic collar we've got in our inventory. Reason being, compared to the hand collars that are working with like the buffs from the level system, it doesn't really feel like it has enough pull to itself to warrant taking it. So we're going to throw that back in. That does free up some more carry weight, so I can look at picking some other stuff up like... Okay, yeah, so bleak collar we want to keep because that has good attraction rate. That one's high, but I don't... Okay, so I'm surprised how low that is, but that's not really that good. We could go for the turkey collar. I don't know. Like, one is 50 and 200, the other is 200 and only 40, so... Okay, this track's any curious. We'll throw both in. I don't think we'll really use the scent, and yeah, I think that should actually honestly be good for us. So let me just see about getting the lures thrown into place here. We'll throw the crow collar there. I mean, if the electronic collar would actually work with the level ups we've got in our skill tree, and had like the, no, not soft feet, sorry, I think it's an ambusher. Yeah, fatal attraction. If that worked on it, it would be an amazing piece of equipment to be able to bring out and save you a lot more inventory slots and weight. But as it stands, it just does not perform for us. Everything we've called in, we've been using our hand calls more so. So we're not really going to worry about that. We're going to keep using, I believe it's the Maradi. I want to make sure I get that right. Yeah, the Maradi model 1894, our Stenberg takedown bow, and the 270 Huntsman. I was debating whether I would look at trying to go for, where is it in here? I know there's a way to, like, paint the stuff you have. Maybe it's in storage? Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. You can see on the bottom, it says customize, so if we do that, yeah, I'll take them in to load the options. But a nice thing about, kind of nice, but also kind of a way to promote a lot of monetization to the game, is that you can actually paint the weapons to whatever styles you like. So, like, if I want to do just a paint of a simple standard color, all the orange arrows down mean you have DLC and you have to pick them up. But I could do something like, say, pick the first slot, pick brown, or, no, I guess I have to drag it, but you can see the preview that comes up there. Do that. The limbs, I think, are... Yeah, the limbs are 3. Part 2, I think, is actually just the little sides on this left and right there. Like, they're pretty hard to see. Yeah, it's just these little parts where those clip in. Other stuff like that. There's sprays where you can see what it looks like. There's also materials. So, give more like a actual wood finish or something like that. Oh, that can only be applied... Okay, some, I guess, can only be applied in certain spots. There's also camo colors if we wanted. That actually doesn't look too bad with the limbs. That's 1,500, and the thing is, I don't really have anything else I'm using the funds on, so I'm kind of debating whether I should pick something up just for ourselves. But yeah, as you can see, a lot of it is old DLC stuff where you'll have to pick it up from somewhere else. But I figured I'd just show that off because it was something that I haven't talked about yet, and I didn't actually realize was a thing, and I believe... You can actually do that with all of the weapons you own. I think all of them have customization stuff where you select them in storage and then there's all kinds of different things you can do with them. For guns, I'm pretty sure it's stock, and you might even be able to do stuff with like the frame and barrel for applying coloration and such. Like, let's see. Yeah, so there's for stock, there's for receiver and barrel, and there's for trigger and accessories around that. So you could do some interesting stuff if you really wanted to or that. It's a nice bit of customization. It's just, again, a lot of what is listed all comes... Oh, I forgot to pick up my collar. Or the e-collar, I should say. Well, I'm kind of surprised this is still deployed since we don't have it in our inventory. Let me just go see about picking it up, and then... maybe we will try to move out to Cheelah, although... Was it any 2 coyotes, or do they have to be at night? No, just any 2 coyotes. Now, let me dismantle that. Oh. Okay, give me a second to speed this up. Because, yeah, I gotta head back to the inventory, throw some stuff out, pick that up, then throw it away again. It's probably one of those things where if you pick it up, like, as a new player, you'll want to use it much more frequently to save you, like, inventory weight and space. But for ourselves, with all the stuff we've got unlocked, again, it just doesn't have the efficiency we really need for it. So I'll throw all that in there. That should provide me the room I need to pick that up. And then we'll fast travel out. And, you know, maybe I'll even actually activate that one, too, so I know where we gotta go for that. Yeah, there we go. We got it in hand. Now, I want to take a quick check. It does say it's in inventory, right? Yeah. Okay, there we go. Storage. Right. It's not weapons, it's not ammo, it's not sights. Throw you back in. So we got deer, elk, moose. We also need the predator calls and the turkey calls, and I think that's it. Yeah, everything else should be good. Now, take a look on the map. That is where Cheelah is, and thankfully, we do have a fast travel spot right there. So let's head on over, and we'll see if we can get a couple coyotes. They're going to be one of the harder animals to try bringing in, but thanks to the recurve bow with the sight we've got, we shouldn't have any issue with landing a good hit on them. I just have to check and see which direction the wind is blowing, or how that's going to play into things, because more than likely... Okay, well, there are rabbits around. Oop, my bad. Again, that's still one thing I'd like to see is... if they could make it so that way you know what your, like, run speed or movement speed is set at before you have to move to get the animation play or such. Yeah, we'll keep going along, see how it goes. Alright, I gotta use the specific rifle for the coyotes if I do see them. Gotta remember that. So is there anything to talk about now that we're getting out and about and going on our way? I know theHunter has recently put out the little news post of they're finally going to be adding different ammo types to each of the weapons to use. It does feel like it's coming in a little late for the game because I don't actually know if this is the last DLC or it's just the last DLC of the year. Because, like, truth be told, theHunter, I do feel like it dropped off because it didn't really help maintain more of the base game and flesh out with some of the new additions. Like, I have talked about it before, and Call of the Wild the Hunter is a prime example of where you want to have whatever means of hunting your player chooses, they have some stuff to support and go along and develop it. The problem with theHunter is you basically were only able to use 2 types of rifles, shotguns exclusively for birds, and you didn't have any perk system for, like, archery or... I don't actually know if there's even handguns in the game for, theHunter. That actually would have been something that kind of might have helped us on our, when we were playing, like, Matariki Park, where we had a couple of stampedes work their way to us. Granted, we probably would need a literal hand cannon, because it was... I think it was a couple of warthogs that had chased us the one time, and we also had a few run-ins with the, to do the water buffalo. So yeah, that was a little something that we had to worry about in mind, and a faster firing, higher capacity weapon for close range might not have been bad, like a handgun, magnum, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I think the problem with theHunter is it has to keep developing its base foundation alongside all the stuff it piles on and adds. That was, I think, one of the problems that kept coming up when it came to the Hunter Call of the Wild, is you get more DLC and more DLC and more DLC, but you wouldn't have a lot of bug fixings that would help and go through, or other stuff to flesh out the base games a little bit more. Because the thing is, you want to be able to sell at least the base games. You want to use that to always being something that will draw people in, and then have it be at such a level where people enjoy it so much, they're more inclined to pick up extra features and DLC and such. But if you let that base decay and fall apart, you're no longer even probably selling the base game anymore. In fact, you might have people try it, see some issues with it, refund it, and you're kind of out funds that you thought you had. So that's one of the things, is as things get added on and built up, you also have to double check, make sure the foundation stays sound, and there's not big issues that have been overlooked or missed. Like, with how we've gone through for our return for the Hunter Call of the Wild, I know it's been a few years since I had last played, but even seeing stuff like how they've changed to have the radial wheel here for easier selection, which I actually just realized I didn't put enough collars out onto again. But there's stuff like that that you can use and work with, and again, just kind of flesh out and keep a nice quality standard throughout it, and even if you are just like trying to push for more DLC. Don't let your foundation break and crumble because you're too focused on building too much onto it. So yeah, I don't know if I will be covering the next DLC for Way of the Hunter or not. It might be something I'll wait, see what reviews come in, and maybe even wait till if there's a sale on it or something and pick it up. I'm just cautious about going too hard into it because of how it feels like it's not really kept up to par. Okay, so far, yeah, we got a lot of space to work off of, and, okay, to the south is probably where the hiking village actually is. I haven't really come across anything like coyote tracks. I'm probably going to keep sticking to the trails for the most part. That just will keep us going towards where we need to go. Yeah, Cheelah cabins. Is Cheelah? Okay, it is Cheelah. I thought it was Cheelah for a moment there, but I guess I was reading that wrong. Wind is to the south, but that could also help us too with getting some... Oh, I was going to say some possible warning calls, but it looks like... Yeah, working more southwest now. Nice big lake. We might be able to spot something down there drinking. Pretty sure these are all just a lot of old tracks. Yeah. Yeah, just more blacktail. I think the past one we saw said very old, so we're probably not going to encounter any of those around here. I'm debating whether I should just go straight for the lake and see if I can... Yeah, you know what? I can keep going along the trail here, but with how the foliage is, it's probably not going to let me see anything. So I think instead I'll work down this way and see if we can spot any animals. Just stop by for a drink or even pick up some need zones and see what it says. I think I'm still a little too hard fixed into the free hunting than trying to actually work off of like the need zones and their timings. Now, so the more efficient way is to basically scout out all the need zones, figure out what time of day will work best for you to reach a spot, get out there, and then you have a better pick of what you're trying to go for. Again, there's always going to be more efficient ways of doing stuff than I likely pick. But it is something to see somebody just kind of slowly work and grow at something too. God, there's a lot of need zone, or like a lot of feed or rest area here. Ah, that explains it. It's all rabbit. What time is it? That says 10 to 14. Okay, we're at 1500, so that explains why there's nothing we're hearing around here. Yeah, I don't know if we'll actually find anything down at the water's edge or not, but it at least gives me a wider area that's completely unbroken by vegetation. And we can hopefully spot either something drinking or just moving around. I'm also slimming the channel down a little bit when it comes to videos for a couple weeks or so. I've always had at least one video go out per day. I'm going to keep that, but I'm not going to be doing the 2 going out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's been a little bit of a slower crawl towards the 2,000 subscriber mark, so I'm going to see if maybe trying to slim down the volume of videos going out, and that might help focus things a little bit more to either draw people in or maybe not burn others out if they do see the recommendations too often. It also helps me because it is summer around where I live, and that means it's basically 30 degrees in the room at least, add on to however much heat trying to capture and play the game's ads with the computer running. So for the sake of burning out, or to prevent burnout both literally and figuratively, I'm going to slim down a little bit of the content. We'll see how that goes for a little bit and how it changes. But yeah, it basically turns into a hot box trying to record these. Certain games are harder than... Well, I shouldn't say harder than others, but are worse than others for like how much the computer has to run. And with the graphic fidelity for called Wild the Hunter, it is one where it does ramp it up a little bit for heat. Unfortunately, it does not look like there's anything here. I thought it was going to be a bit of a gamble in case we would come across anything, but at least we did make the way down. We might circle the lake and just see if we can hear or see anything else as we go. Because at least once we get to the opposite shore, we shouldn't have to worry about the wind for progressing forward along the shore. That should be blowing behind us, and unless we get unlucky and something calls out from like over there for picking our scent up, I think we should be okay. It is hard to catch sight of anything through the trees. Again, sometimes it is just, you gotta slowly explore for a long time and hope you hear or see something. And in this case, that's actually what we're looking for. Although, I do want to check something. The 270, what is that? See, that says 4 to 8, but it wants us to use that for the coyotes. Which I would think would be too strong for them. But let's get ourselves, yeah, we want the jackrabbit caller. That was actually one of the little objectives they wanted us to do with it. Okay, I don't want to get too close to the position along the lake because it did only hit me in a moment there that, oh yeah, there's the problem with the wind. But we'll see about trying to get into a good position to try to spot from afar. Try to keep the wind more to our left and the coyote call directly ahead of us. And see if I can just get into a little bit of cover. That'll let me do a full stand without being seen. Might be a little trickier in this area. Not sure if I can use this tree because of like the lack of branches on it or not, but we'll see how the game registers it. But again, it's the little touches, like a little bit of detail to know this counts as full cover, this doesn't count as full cover, how much noise you make as you move. Just those little things that help out a lot. Now, since there was a mating call, it's very possible that the coyote also won't be brought in, but we'll just wait around for a little bit and see if we can spot it coming. Okay, no, I don't have really great cover here. I was going to say, was hoping to try standing up. I don't have to let it get super close in because we are using the 270. That's a pretty accurate rifle for a fair distance out. Yeah, with how low line... Okay, maybe I'll try... I'll try calling it over, like, to here. And see if I can back up to here and stand up, and that should give me a better view to it possibly coming in. Okay, it says he's attentive. He's not too far out. Right, wrong one. I need 270. Pretty quick, but I'm pretty sure that should be him down. Yeah, that is. Or, no, that might just be a rock there. Okay, we'll head towards that direction and see. I don't think there's anything else I was hitting, because it looked like it was his coloration right through there. Yeah, he is in there. Just a little hard to see with all the bush. But that should knock off... Okay, well, that's one of those, and it should also, I think, knock one of these off. I'll have to check just to make sure. But yeah, when it comes to rifle hunting, it's so much easier than any other style. Oh, further back than I thought, but I guess because he was walking along his way, that explains that. But yeah, we do have improper ammo. Usually the games are pretty good about keeping you using the right ammo to match the, like the ethics of it. Okay, so there was that one done, so that's one knocked off. Now, I don't know if we'll come across any others. We didn't really hear any warning barks or yips go out, so that could have been the only one in the area. But we'll take a little bit more of... Oh, you know what? Maybe I will head towards this and just see what we hear. I guess it's probably just a hunting stand or a tower put up in the middle of nowhere. But it is at least a way to get a little bit of experience and gives us a destination to aim for. Then we can always come back and try going around the rest of the lake there. No, it's not something to set up. It looks like it's just like a little stone cairn or a marker for something. Yes, we'll see what this says. And keep roaming around, try to get another coyote. Okay, let's inspect this. If we can. What? Okay, I know this is right here. Usually, there we go. Camping rules and guidelines. A little out of the way for this to be here. Like, yeah, the hiking village is over here. Why are the rules for camping and such way out into the middle of the woods? There's definitely some questionable placements time to time. Let me turn the mission log back to the 2 coyotes in the area, just so I know, like... I was thinking about going over here, but looking at the thing, I might as well just actually try going right for the village again. When I say again. I think I've been around here when I was trying to get the handgun score up. Just on my own time. Because there's a little bit of hunting pressure down here. Yeah, we'll head over to the west, or sorry, the east. Even trying to mine that, I still screw that up. We'll keep working towards the east and see what we can get there. I've gone over it multiple times, it's just because you read left to right, so you always say, like, northeast, southwest, and always gets the 2 flipped on me, which I gotta remember it's northwest, east, south, just for, like, easier sake of things. If I could get that through my brain, maybe it'll be a little easier to, like, stick and not make that mistake. Yeah, we'll work over this way. It's very possible our scent is going to give us away and we'll have, like, some warning calls come out. In some ways, I'd actually kind of welcome it, because that does give you a little bit of an easier way of, like, knowing, okay, there is something definitely over there. Than just having to, like, walk blind and hope you're coming across it. Not really seeing anything out there. No, okay. Well, this area... Yeah, how dense that is, I don't think we're going to be able to use binoculars to sight anything in that. We'll just keep walking on foot and see if anything does pop off. Now, it doesn't really matter what we use for taking down another coyote in this area. I don't think there's any restrictions on what kind of equipment you're specified for this. Because we are still in, like, the Cheelah area, and in Southern Ridge, taking a second coyote with 270 is probably not going to count towards the actual mission requirement. So we'll probably just want to leave that be and focus on... I guess any large area will suffice. Since the wind is blowing basically directly southeast, maybe we'll try to go somewhere... maybe we'll try, like, from down here again. I mean, I hate using the same areas, but... Actually, maybe we'll even try Layton Lows there, and go up into, or towards Mount Kraken. I don't think there's any way in-game to kind of know what the, like, territory ranges are for the animals per map. There's nothing that says, like, okay, there's a big orange cloud here that says you find coyotes here, there's a cloud here that says you find blacktails, etc. I think everything can just kind of be spaced out wherever it'll be. Yeah, so I could go a bit south, but it doesn't look like there's that much territory it covers if we were to follow the trail south. I'm thinking we'll cut our way up north. See what we can find and come across. Try to keep my hands and arms from sticking to the desk I'm doing too. So if you see me, like, do little weird arm lifts or shoulder wiggles or whatever, that's just me trying to get unstuck and peel myself from it. Summer, it's the one time of the year I think I hate the most, just because there's not much you can really do to fight off the heat. Like, at least for the cold, you can bundle up, you can have ways to try to get warmer and such, you can dress in that. Heat, all you can really do is get down so many layers and then try finding some shade, but even then, that's not always a lot of respite from it. Respite? Respite? Not sure of the pronunciation for that one, to be honest. But yeah, summer is not a nice time of year for me. Yeah, we just got the hiking village sign. I guess we can try going up and then... Like, I'm not sure if I should try cutting out to the east more to just, like, get us to the extra rims of, like, the hunting area for them, or what I should do. Because I was hoping I would have heard, like, a little bit more going off in the area. Even if it's just, like, a little bit of rabbits hopping around in one of these open fields. Just to give us a little something to go after rather than wandering around, taking in the scenery. Yeah, you know what? Let me take a hard right here. I'm going to keep walking right like this through the woods. I know it's going to give our position away easily. But the warning calls that might come out, again, can be more helpful than they are harmful for you. The important thing is, as soon as you hear one, to stop and get a bit low and just stay still for a while. Just don't push your luck and see how that comes about. But I'm thinking of tackling the Hunter Call of the Wild series, kind of like how I did the last time I played, where we'll do Layton Lakes for a while. I don't know if we'll actually clear out all the main mission stuff for it, because I don't know how many there are of those to go. Go to Hirschfelden, then pick one of the DLC maps, and kind of work through chronologically on them. If we can. Yeah, there's a tower there I passed long ago. I'm surprised how quiet it is in this area. Like, set aside for what I thought might make some noise as we're going through here, I thought we at least would have heard some calls. Like, the wind's shifting now to be basically directly south. Yeah, not really that much activity. Didn't even really... I know we didn't circle the full lake, but we didn't really see anything even down at its shore, like a need zone things for going to drink at. Oh! Okay, it's not exactly... Well. How do we want to do this? We could either do the Maraudy or the bow. I'm kind of thinking maybe the bow, but I want to get towards a better spot. There you are. So you know what? I'm going to put... No, it's actually right beside a needs... It's right what we had found earlier. I'm going to put that down. I'm slowly going to approach. Once you get to around the 150 meter mark, we'll probably be a little more cautious on the approach and try to study what we'd like to do. Like, if there isn't a really, really good elk in there, we can always just use the Maraudy and get a decent heart shot to put one down. But if there is something of a little bit more trophy value, or should I do the opposite? Use the rifle as a better guarantee for, like, a better trophy. Well, that might be a smarter move to make. Yeah, because now we're able to see a little bit more here. So we got a difficulty 2, difficulty 3, difficulty 2, but there was a 4 in this group somewhere. There you are. Right towards the back. Yeah, I'm thinking I will use the rifle. Now, because it is tucked in the trees, it's going to be a little hard to know if we will have a nice direct line of fire to it or not. But since we do have the rain out and about, that should keep us hidden for a while as we approach. Yeah, it's like you guys... Well, I can't even see... There's the other one. Yeah, you're pretty small. Not really worth that much. You're not that much either. I don't see any others coming up as, like, spot the animals, so I don't think there's anything better than that one in there. And given how it is a pretty large group, I doubt I'd be able to call just him in. Like, truth be told, with this being a need zone, I don't think I'd be able to call them in at all. But yeah, it's just, I can't tell what kind of foliage is in the way, because I'd hate to try taking a shot for the heart, and it's going into a tree trunk. No, actually, it looks like the vegetation is getting a little more sparse. Okay, let me... Oh, no, sorry, I gotta go. There we go. Yeah, I got nice and low. Wait a moment, I'm just going to actually inch a little bit more to the right. Just make sure the shot's going to be a good one. I think I only got him by the front leg there. I think the shot might have gone lower than I wanted it. Yeah. Okay. I should have given it a little bit more lift. I think that might be one of the reasons why I should probably go more for long shots to make sure I get a guarantee that I'm actually getting vital placed shots. Because the way that he was kind of holding that leg up as he was running, that makes me think the shot dropped and then hit. No, not run. Now, it is also possible they will be trying to come back to this area, as it is a need zone still. So I don't want to push too hard at them. Maybe we'll try taking up a little bit of position and give them a moment or two to see. Likely he'll go farther than the others might have run. And I also don't know if the others ran up that way in a way, or they followed him and went that direction. I'll just put that there so that way I have a marker to know where I spotted him last. And we'll get into a point where we can kind of watch for if he does try making his way back. 150 is a bit of a long shot for the Maraudy. I think that's kind of like... Yeah, there's a bit of bullet drop, so I probably should aim more so for 100-meter shots. Just to be safer with it, and with how I... Again, trying to use the other ammo type, I had a lot of issues like this where it was all just glancing blows. That is one thing where I will praise theHunter for, is including... You have that little bit of, like, dynamic reticle, where as much as you'll line something up in the crosshairs, as you go to steady your aim with that, you have the option, if you keep it enabled, that you'll actually get, like, a little phantom hit indicator where the bullet will actually land for that distance in that shot where you've lined up. It just does help take a little bit of guesswork out of some of the aspects of it. I know if you want to go full hardcore hunter, you could easily disable that and work with it, but... As the series I have done, the multiple series have shown, I can use what help I can get. I'm not going to try any callers, I'm just going to try to stay a little bit low and get into a position where I could try watching if he does make his way back. I might have accidentally pushed him a little bit with changing my position when I take, like, after I taken the shot. That's one big thing, is the animals are fully alerted to you, and any extra stuff you do really does help push them and make them run further and hide. So in order to avoid that, good idea just to take your shot and do not move at all. I mean, you can take a look around and everything, but you want to take it a little easier when it comes to taking any steps or movement after you've fired. Goes for all weapons, not just your rifle. Or not just your firearms. Bows, crossbows, shotguns are firearm, etc. You know what I mean. Yeah, unfortunately, with the way it looks like it all slopes down, I don't think I'll be into a really good position to try to see him. I've not seen anybody else coming back yet either, so it is probably going to be a few minutes. We'll have to see what they do. I don't want to get too close in to where we last saw him, but I want to get to a spot where I can keep looking around and have some cover if I want to stand to try to help. Actually, this little tree right here might give me good cover. Might register that as giving me the perks of being well hidden within its range. Sort of. Yeah, that position right there does... Once I stand up, that's gone, but... Okay, with this a downhill slope... Maybe I will go up here. Just that way I can look down and see if anything is working its way up. Like, speaking of the hit indicator that theHunter used, I'm a little surprised that, like, more hunting games have kind of steered away from some of the stuff that Cabela's was actually putting to their games for, like, trying to help the players out. Because I think they're the game that kind of first came up with the idea, well, I think they came up with the X-ray vision of sorts, where, like, if you were to spot an animal down your sights and that, and you focused in, you would actually see, like, where the lungs and heart are showcased in the animal. Again, it's pretty cheap and gives a big crutch to the players, but again, if you're new and starting out, having that extra bit of information for yourself to start learning and bettering yourself would probably be pretty helpful. I'm not seeing anything there, but with the slope and the rocks, that might explain that. And that... Okay. Now, I don't know why the indicator is gone now from where it said we last spotted this. I don't know if that means the animal despawned, or it's gone down somewhere. I'll take a look at some of the tracks here, and maybe we can find the possible blood trail. Because at least one nice thing I will admit theHunter does is, if you are trying to follow up on an animal you've only glanced, they do keep the animal bleeding out for a long time past, even if it is just like a non-fatal blow. So that way, if you are trying to clean up from your mistakes, you have a little bit of a better time of doing so. And I'm not sure how the game is for, like, showing if the animal's been hit already before or not. I know theHunter, unless you get, like, I think it's, like, more specific hits on where your shot's connected, the animals don't really show that many signs of being hit. But theHunter, I think, but Call of the Wild theHunter, I think does show the animals, even if it's just like a little glancing blow. They show an animation, or they have a change in stance so that we can tell which one's injured. Okay, unfortunately, I'm not really seeing, like... Oh. Actually, that might be the blood trail back there. Yeah, I think that is from him. So we'll go take a look. One of the reasons why I was pretty sure was just a glancing blow is my face should be in the top left corner of the screen, so that way all of, like, the spotting information is correct on the right side. But because of some of the perks we've got, is it skills? No, it must be an ambusher. Yeah, spotting knowledge. You get to reveal approximate health of the animal. So after the shot, it said it was still in the 75 to 100% range as it's been running. So that made me figure, okay, that wasn't a good takedown shot. If it was, it would have dropped below that threshold pretty quickly. And there are animals where you will hit them in the heart, but they still might go for a little distance before they do fully go down. Although, this actually isn't... This might be better of a bleed than I thought. Oh, shoot! Okay, that was a better bleed than I thought we were going to get on it. I was like, from the way the animal was standing, I thought we had only, like, gotten a glancing blow from it. But no, this is actually... Yeah, this should be the animal dead. Medium... Yeah, there it is. Okay, I want to see where it hit, because this might be the case of... We actually had it go right through a leg as well. But it was definitely the best specimen of the little herd we had found. I kind of wish I had found that sooner, because we could have saved a lot of time for thinking he might be coming back, but he was not. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, that's why he was limping on the one side. It passed through the shoulder bone. I do wish I could zoom in on this screen too, but if we inspect, just a little above the heart, so I actually didn't aim as low as I thought I did. But yeah, the heart, because I don't know if it's the same for Way of the Hunter, because I feel like the lungs in heart positioning, it makes no reason why you shouldn't go for the heart on this animal. I thought it was in like Way of the Hunter, the heart was a little lower and the lungs didn't quite overlap as much, so they wouldn't be like as guaranteed if you were to get a straight through. But overall, still a gold score, not too bad. We'll take that. And I don't really... Let's see. We have hit a basically good time for what the series like goes for. Maybe I'll just try getting us back towards the trail and see if we hear any calls as I'm running back. It's like, I don't know if the elk will return here. I feel like with the hunting pressure that's now in the area and having killed one of them, that might drive them out of using this need zone. But we still do have that second coyote. We could try... I mean, Ryan, we don't know where one is in the area, but if there are any coming around here, maybe we'll try doing that next episode as well. Yeah, not really that much done per episode, but that's one of the things about the game, and where, again, my slow going I kind of like. It doesn't have to be filled to the brim with all kinds of success. If I really wanted to, I could always just chop up recording and just show only the highlights of it, but again, I feel like that's a little disingenuous for how the gameplay can be. And sometimes, maybe people treat these more kind of like podcasts, where they just listen along to some of the rambling and talking that goes on. With a little bit of... Oop, my bad, I forgot X's whistle. I think that's one thing that Call of the Wild doesn't have, or it might have only if you use its, the Toby tracker thing. Because basically, I think that one is, it'll follow where your eyes are looking, so your player model won't move and walk, but you can like turn your head as if you are looking around. I just have a feeling like for me, that would be the screen constantly in motion and possibly be a little motion sick there. But it's something if you want to try looking into as an option, this game does support it. I can't really think of all that many games that would support something like that, but maybe that's more like a really high-end piece of equipment really hardcore gamers like using. I don't know. I don't think I've ever come across a game other than the Hunter that does like make mention to it being a thing. But yeah, we've got a nice view of the sun coming over the mountains there. God, again, the game is gorgeous. So we're going to end today's episode of The Hunter Call of the Wild right here and see what we get up to next episode. Thank you all very much for joining me on this episode of the series. If you did like the video, be sure to give it a like. And if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, be sure in the comments right down below. Until I see you all next video episode, Hunters and Survivors, please remember, as always, to take care, stay alive, and happy hunting.